Let's see who shows up. Let's see. Let's see who arrives. I hope this is a fun one because every year I kind of owe this to myself. This is my birthday present to myself. This video right here. Oh, guys, I have got like 40 of these old blue t-shirts. Morning. So there's gonna be a lot of videos of me wearing these because I realized that I have a bunch of these old uniform shirts from when I was in the military. So I've been wearing them as work shirts and stuff like that. So I've got like, I have an entire drawer full of these shirts that are just sitting there. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna start wearing these plain blue t-shirts. They're comfortable. And so don't think that like I'm only wearing the same clothes. The hard thing is my wife does laundry so much that I could feasibly wear the same clothes 2-3 times a week. I have a good wife, a very good wife. But that's not what this is about, guys. Notifications popped up. I read the title and said, oh God. So I do this once a year. I put up a couple posts. I happen to go on Kickstarter. I owe this to myself. I try not to be a complete asshole. And so to not be a complete asshole, this is what I do, because Paulo just winds up being the receptacle for all of the bad things that I really want to say about people, because I can't stand him. And somebody told me that this person claimed that Paulo told them that if he ever saw me, he was gonna kick the shit out of me. Same thing with Adam Chavez, flipping beans. Yeah, he said if he ever saw, and I was like, dude, he already had an incident with flipping beans. He knows he can't kick the shit out of him. I'm bigger than Adam is. What makes him think he's got a shot? At any rate, here we go. So, as we all know, several years ago, it's like 3, almost 4 now, I believe. We'll look at the dates. I got Kickstarter pulled up on my wife's computer. Mr. PB decided that he was going to do a Kickstarter for a knife, and proceeded to do a Kickstarter that royally screwed every other knife Kickstarter out there. I could never have done this as a Kickstarter, thanks to his royal heinous Paulo. I normally would film this so I had time to think of these little quips in between cuts, but I'm not going to, because you're going to get to see it live. This is what Nico gets when I pick on Nico. So this douche nozzle decides he's going to do a Kickstarter and collects over 29,000. I mean, basically, when you look at it, I believe there were some donations that came in on top of just people that were trying to get knives that put it past 30,000. Adam Chavez knows more about this than I do, but 29,600 something, I believe, to do 80 knives. Now, he's got some updates. We'll take a look at them. I owe this to myself every year. This is like my birthday to myself. I'm not trying to claim that I am like a fucking expert knife maker. But in the 3 years that it has taken him to not produce a single Mars knife, I have made, hand ground, and sent out about 100 knives in 2 years. It's a completed knife, just needs handles and sharpening. 3 years. I want you to put that in perspective. How long is 3 years? That's a very, very long time. There are people that don't spend that much time in the military. And he has not produced a single knife. So what I like to do is once a year I go, and I post it up on Instagram too. He put up an update. He put up an update last month. He did put up an update. Let's go look at it. Let's go. This is fun. This is so much fun for me. How much to get one of my custom one-offs? I don't want to put it out here because like people will be like, oh, there's no way your knives are worth that much. But like if you knew how much time went into them, yeah. So just contact me separate. I don't like to have the hate of people like, that's ridiculous. Well, let it be ridiculous. So here we go. And let me. All right, Luke, I'll get with you. That one's for Alex. That's for Alex IO. I have a couple left. I am saving one for myself. So when those blanks are gone, I mean, I could always hand grind one. Those were water jetted out. All right, let's do this. So you guys don't think I'm joking. The date on that is June 4th, 2020. He put out an update. He put out an update on the Mars knife. It says, although I'm not 100% solid on the date for restart, I'm happy to report that delivery will resume before October. Thank you for your continued patience. Paulo. Now, the last update he put up before that was update number 17 that said first shipment, October 2018. Right, you see where we're going? October, 2 years later? Two years later. Let's read more on that. Here we go. Let's enjoy this. This is always fun. This was his update. Let's see. Is it gonna play? Is it gonna play? This is great. This was his update.
I think we're just gonna keep it simple though. Yeah, like if a customer's knife is shipping as part of this first shipment, then they'll get information saying that their knife is on its way. And then if a customer does not receive shipping information that their knife is part of the first shipment, then it means that their knife isn't part of this first shipment. It seems pretty simple to me.
You condescending prick.
Meeting adjourned.
That's it. That's the update. That's how he treats his backers. If your knife is shipping, you'll get an update. You'll get a shipping notification. If it's not, you don't get it. And I'm like, you condescending fucking prick. So, previous to that, that was his update. That was his update in, let's go back to all updates. That was his update in October of 2018. 1 October 2018. This was his one in September 2017. 2017. You ready? 2017. Let's read more. Let's read this. I'm not here just trying to get knives. I'm going to have to translate some of this for you. Hey, Keith, you walked in on a good one. I'm going to have to translate from Paulo to English for you guys because he's a psychopathical fucking idiot. And what he's putting here, I'll translate it for you because I've dealt with people like this, so I know how to read it. So it says, I'm not here just, I love this. I've read this so many times, it just makes me giggle. I'm not here just trying to get knives done. I'm here getting perfect knives done. Have you seen them? They're fucking hideous. And I'll take all the time I need in order to do that. Although I understand it has frustrated some of my backers to no end. We'll get to some of the backers' comments in a little bit. I'd much rather deal with the occasional Paulo is a scammer bullshit that gets thrown around over social media rather than have 80 plus backers receive knives that aren't as good as they could be. Let me be preemptive and respond to some comments I'm sure to receive. Wait, what was that? Nathan, would Nathan retract? He retracted something. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to read this. And no, it's not a fixed blade, Bradley. It's a folder. An ugly one. Question, why have you stopped posting progress pictures? Answer, because it does no good and has proven that only one thing it has done is to cause a handful of negative thinking backers to come out of the woodwork to start with their paranoid Photoshop After Effects conspiracy theories. The pictures that will matter will be the ones of tracking numbers that, when used, will show the knife en route. Let me translate that for you. He was Photoshopping shit, and he stopped posting up pictures because people called him out on it. And there are no update pictures because there is no progress. There's no progress pictures because there's no progress. He just never made the knives. So let me give you a little backstory. So Paulo is an incredible graphic engineer. He did animation for Nickelodeon and shit like that. You can look at the pictures, and if you look real close, you can pick out the ones that are fakes. The ones that aren't fakes are fucking garbage knives. Okay, so I'm not even gonna monetize this video because I know I'm dropping F-bombs left and right. This is my birthday present to myself. Why exactly is it taking so long? Why exactly is it taking so long? Because building 80 plus knives, giving each one the same attention as I would if it was a custom one-off, takes a long time. And because it turns out that I sucked at accurately estimating how long it would take to do so. Well, I mean, if you take all the money and you run off with it, no, he's using a CNC. He bought a CNC. So here's the translation. He's just not fucking doing them. That's why. Question, can I get a refund? The answer, no, but you can sell your knife on the secondary market after you receive it and probably make almost double what you paid for it here. Or I'll put you in contact with one of the 65 people who have contacted me asking to buy one since the campaign ended. Translation, you're fucked. There you go. That's Paulo to English. You're fucked. Because I honestly, even though he says he started production again, I don't see these knives being made, ever. He ran off with the, okay. Did you run off to Mexico with our money? Yes, even though my Instagram clearly shows that I ran. No, he didn't run off to Mexico. He ran off to LA. He's living in a container. I'm pretty convinced of it. Why are you making other products when you aren't done with the Mars knife? And he says, because I still have to make a living, keep the lights on. If I split my focus, so I need to split my focus now, and that's what I'll do. Translation, he used y'all's money to start and actually do the products that he intended to do. He had no intention of making this knife. This knife was a gaff. It was a fucking money grab. He got the money from the machine, spent the money, got the machine. They had it in a not in a storage container. They had it in like a commerce center, like Chris and Elliot's, like a shop. And he got them kicked out because he was living in the shop, like literally living in the shop. Illegal, by the way. Do you have a substance abuse problem? He said, yes, nicotine, cocaine, methamphetamine, probably anything he could, he's a piece of shit. One last thing, the message, and he talks about, okay, so those are the two big updates. Before that, let's go back to the other updates. Let's go back to all updates. So the update before that was, okay, so we had one this year in June. Then we had one in October of 2018. 2 years between updates. Not 2 years between, hey, I started, and hey, they're done. 2 years between updates about starting with the $29,000 that he... Okay, so then he had to update 3 finish options to say, I'm sorry, he's offering extra options. That was in 2017. So now we're 3 years back. Let's go back here. For the wrong-handed backers. The post is for backers only, but that was in 2017. He has a bunch of posts because he was getting so much hate that he made the posts, the picture posts, only for backers. So the rest of these are really hard to... But back in 2016, closing on the finish line with December deliveries, December 2017. 2017, 2018, 2019. Those dates have all passed. But now he's telling us he's shipping in October of 2020, guys. 2020, that's the date. 2020, that's the one. That's the one. But that 2016 delivery date was not the original date. So let's look at the actual campaign. Let's see. The campaign. Are you guys ready? So let's look at the... Can I even still pull up the timeline? Estimated delivery date 2016, December 2016. That was, if you get a pre-run serial number, people were paying $379. Now, I would like you to take a look. Let's see if I can even pull up just a picture of just the knife. They are the ugliest, plain Jane, fucking basic bitch knives I've ever seen. So let's turn these around. Guys, this is what people were going to pay almost $400 for. Can you see it? That's it. Guys, you can get one of these for right around the same price. And guess what? These actually deliver. This is an Olamic, by the way. I think this is, I've seen some of the Olamics for around 400 bucks. You know, quality knife, good action, stuff like that. It's not even that fancy. So, this is the fun part. This is my favorite part. I love to go and I read the comments from the backers. So let's do that. Let's look at the backers' comments for a little bit. Let's do that. 146 comments. Here we go. So, 2 months ago, got John Egan. I'm looking forward to using a Mars knife. I'm sure it'll be well made. Thank you. This guy has been drinking the Kool-Aid since day one. He's like, poor Paulo. Wrong choice. Mark Carlson, super backer. Very disappointing. That was 3 months ago. 4 months ago. Tom Arse. Tom was like nothing. Another guy named John. Blazano backed Golan modular desktop creative robotic arm by SCA. This product costs anywhere upwards of $500. I doubt he went for the low end of it. So people are like, what the fuck is he doing with our money? And I'm going to go through some of these comments. What was this? I remember some close-up Mars shots. The steel was pretty pitted, but Paulo was claiming it was textured. Yes, that was another one. Like, it was, no, it's textured that way. I was like, no, that's shit heat treat. You didn't know how to pack your blades when you put them in the ovens. Yeah, I've heat treated enough knives to know when you have a packet that goes, and then just not to even clean it up. Like a fixed blade, I can redimension it, but you do that with a folding knife blade, it's fucked. Evidently, he still exists. Just backed another Kickstarter project with our money. Yeah. Backed another Kickstarter project with the money from these guys. See what I was saying? Nathan, nothing. That's 9 months ago. Nothing. Going on 3 years now. Mark, super backer. Anybody getting anything? This was 12 months ago. There's some guys that aren't here, even though it's been a minute. I'm looking forward to the Mars knife, but that was a year ago. So, Javier, still waiting. Charles Burren. Update, please. Here's one of my favorites. This guy named John. $29,687. Says they started shipping, but nobody's seen a knife. This is over a year ago. And then, again, like, ... $29,687. John, any shipped yet? John, anyone get a shipping notice yet? Brian, it's sad you continue to post fake updates. Nobody believes you're shipping anything, almost like you didn't have a plan to wrap up your scam. What's your final move? Claim ninjas broke in and stole everything? That's one of my favorites. Well written, creative. Right below it is his next comment. Same person, almost 2 years ago. It'd be best for everyone if you didn't exist. See how happy people are with him? See how much joy he brings? He's bringing me joy. I'm happy right now. This is me happy. I love this. I love this because I despise this dude. I despise this dude. He's everything that's wrong with the knife industry, and he ruined knife Kickstarters pretty much for everyone. My buddy Nick from Niche Designs, this is why he couldn't get a Kickstarter going. This is why everyone remembers the Mars knife. Everyone remembers the controversy around this. Almost 4 years now. December 2016 was supposed to be the original delivery date. Almost 4 years for 80 knives. Guys, I've watched the Fair and Forge boys pump out 100 knives in a little over 3 months. It's not that hard. I can make a knife in a few days. Usually what the longest wait is for getting somebody to make a sheath. And right now I don't have anybody, so that knife's going without a sheath. I really hate doing that, but I just don't have anybody to do a sheath with. Brian, another one from Brian, same guy, just a whole line of them. His are always great. Hey Paulo, I hope you cut an artery when you're packing my knife. Yeah, there's some upsetness there. If you have kids, I feel sorry for them. You're a terrible person. Also from Brian. And here goes Brian. This guy's a crook. And Kickstarter is too for allowing this on their platform. I'm sure they've received a ton of complaints and taken zero action. Javier, I don't think we're ever going to get these knives. You mean supplies? Let's load more. That was only 25 of 175. We could do this for a while. Got any updates? And yet, here's another one, John. And yet, almost another year goes by without my knife, without an update in almost a year. Got any updates? 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 There's like 40 of those. I'm scrolling through. Oh, wait, I missed one. I don't feel the need to be respectful and considerate since you haven't shown any of your customers the same. There was a thing where Paulo was just flipping out because the customers, like the backers, were losing their shit. It's been 2 years. Got any more updates? Any more updates? Any more updates? Paulo, almost 3 years ago. Paulo posts. Update posted. Any updates? This comment has removed. Brian put up something that was worse than you shouldn't exist because the comment has been removed by Kickstarter. Learn more about comment guidelines. So that was the next 25. They were all updates. Brian, okay, so you guys can see it. I'm not just joking. So this guy, Brian, was apparently heated because he has like 4 comments in a row that were taken down by Kickstarter because apparently they went too far. Eric, I tried to contact Mr. Blazano again. ... No response, yet. As most of you know, he last posted on Instagram July 31st, 2017. He was his last target date to ship the Mars knives. Yeah, I think I like Brian too. I think me and Brian could be friends. You guys ever wonder why one nose hole's bigger than the other? I've had my nose broke like 6 times. It's now September 2000. Okay, so the last update was July 31st, 2017. Well, it's now September 10th, 2017. Well over a year since the project has started and funded. Plus, it appears that he has been involved in making other things, as well as collaborations with other people. Funny how there's time to make other things, but no word about or signs of the Mars Knife project being delivered. Guys, I can't even make this up. I can't. I can keep going. I can't believe any of you backers are still asking this idiot/criminal anything. I like this one. Stacy Shyrock. If that's a dude, we could be friends. If that's a chick, good on you. Do you all get it that he scammed the backers? Blazano is not ever going to deliver any knives because there are no knives to deliver because he hasn't made any. And hasn't made any because he's not a knife maker. Because no knife maker would ever have farmed out his work as he stated he was doing. All bullshit. All I can, and I still can't believe that it's really small print. Only a handful of the backers have ever even spoken up. Blazano will never answer again, and I told everyone back in December, but no one wanted to believe me, especially Samuel, with his smart mouth asking me if I'd ever been in a custom knife maker's list. Hey, Samuel, what do you have to say now? And Blazano is having the nerve to call me a troll. Yeah, who's the... who's the liar now? Backers, Blazano, you are just another criminal punk. But just wait, he's going to get what's coming to him. And if he ever tries to kick the shit out of me in public, he will. Because I will kick his head into a fucking storm drain. I'll fold him up in a pizza box. He's a little dude. He looks like Gumby. They just keep going, guys. Like you can just see anyone asking for update. I know our money isn't just being scammed. It isn't all that hard. So here we go. Here's a good one. I like this one. Nolan, the question remains, what is he well known for? There's a big line between being known and having integrity. Paulo, are you ever going to deliver knives? Or was it just a scam? You could buy your equipment with the money. We're rapidly approaching a year. This is a year. This is only a year after. Guys, put this in perspective. Chris and Elliot were doing runs of 200 knives 4 times a year. That's 800 knives a year. back when they were doing in-house stuff. They were doing in-house builds. And everybody's going, oh, well, he was making them in-house. No, he specifically said that he was going to outsource, just like a mid-tech, just like the boys, just like the Ferrum boys do. He was going to get a bunch of shit outsourced. It was talked about it. He was farming off some of the stuff. So basically like a mid-tech. That's 400 knives every 6 months. That's 800 knives a year times 3. In the time it has taken him to make this many Mars knives, most knife makers have done runs of 100, 200, or pumped out custom knives. I could do, like, if I had the time and all the equipment and just unlimited, I could just be at the shop all the time, I could pump out a knife a week. A knife a week, that's 52 knives a year. Without a CNC, without a jig, just if I had just the time and customers to do it. Put that in perspective. I could have almost handmade a run of Mars knives in a year without a machine. Paulo, why did you even go back? Why did you even go back? Like, this would not have happened if he had just left well enough alone and just forgot about the Mars project. But no. God, I love it when he does this. It's like a present every year. He does it right around the same time, too. It's always right around the same time, right around my birthday. It's almost like he knows. It's almost like he knows. So while I'm fucking introducing him to the taste of his left testicle, when I'm kicking the shit out of him, I'll thank him for the birthday present every year. That's not a threat. He's the one, apparently, that said he was going to kick the shit out of me. So when he tries, then I'll show him. You probably shouldn't pick out a dude that was at bar fights as a hobby. I love you for this, Paula. This is great. Yeah, I used to get in bar fights as a hobby. I used to do that. So, okay, let's go through some of these comments. You guys' comments are one. I don't give a crap about these guys that fell for this. I mean, I do. I feel bad for him. I really honestly feel bad for him. The guys that are still, like, I don't get it. He has got so many followers on Instagram. I'm like, how do you still? Let's look at comments here. Live chat. Let's bring them up. That made me. Hookers and blow. It's hard to start when you already spent the money on supplies. I bet Daryl Caston for his D-Rocket on Kickstarter. Yeah, but Daryl Cranston's like, he's not a douche nozzle. Alex, surprised he's still around. Bet you $5 he's trying to outsource them to someone like we. I don't know. I honestly don't care. It's an overpriced penguin. Let's see. Some close up Mars shots. Okay, so on top of everything else, the shots that he did of some blades that he kept trying to say was a texture, I want to address this again. If you can find it, like, he blocked me on Instagram. He blocked me on Twitter. He's blocked me on all the social media platforms that I could find him on. So I started a Reddit about how much I hate the dude. It got taken down. He complained about it and got it. Well, somebody, I'm not going to say he did, but somebody complained about that Reddit that I did, that Reddit subreddit that I did and got taken down. Let's see. Yeah, but like 4 years, guys. 4 years. 4 years. I want you to put that in perspective. Like I said, the boys were doing for a while runs. They were doing quarterly runs of 200. They were doing 4 runs a year. And I mean, even when they split that down and we're doing 2 runs a year, that's 400 knives a year times 4. They were doing 800 knives a year when I first started going up there. They had runs of 200, and when they would stop one, they were basically already had the supplies. And this is where I don't understand it. Like, he had $29,000. The boys would use the money generated from one run to roll into the next. So as you were paying, because you paid up front, they already were ordering things for the next run to make sure that they had no gap. They would basically stop. They'd take like a week off, clean up the shop, retool everything, QA all the parts, and start assembly. Once they would do that, I have something in my leg. Sorry. I got a piece of wood in my leg that I'm trying to dig out. And it's sticking out. It's bothering me. It's catching my pant leg. I think it's in far enough. I may need to go to the emergency room to get it. But at any rate, what I'm saying is that's a lot of knives. That's a lot of knives. I started that knife on Thursday last week. And it's, for all intents and purposes, done. I just don't have handle material, and I don't have any more belts. I've got to order handle materials. Alex just sent me the first the first deposit, because I basically started on it before he paid me, because he's like, I can't. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can trust him. He sent me this as a gift, this and a heretic knife. So I mean, usually I take an upfront deposit when I start. But like, honestly, I could have finished that knife this week if I had all my pins, or not pins, all my screws and hardware. I can't find my barrels. Those are expensive. So, I mean, in all honesty, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for not having delivered at least some of them. Like, I could understand, like, if something happened. But the fact is, like, him and his partner, they got that machine and they put it in a shop, and then Paulo got them kicked out because he was living in the shop. I mean, it's completely unacceptable, and it's a bunch of bullshit. And so every year I do this at least once a year. This is just like I said, it's a birthday present to myself this year. So what do you guys got? Let's hang out and do this for a little bit, and then I'll take the dog out, and then I got to work out and work on making knives, because I'm not Paulo. Not sleeping in a shipping container somewhere in Orange County. I did not know that they had, like, he did a Kickstarter. I did not know they had Wi-Fi connection at a fucking homelessness camp. Who's here? What do we got? What do we got? Comments. I'm listening for you guys now. I'm here for the next, we'll give it another 15 minutes or so. Depends on what we got on comments. Guys, I did not rage quit, by the way, the premiere yesterday. I just had other stuff I could be doing, and there was absolutely zero comments. I was the only person that commented in the live premiere. So I'm just not gonna do them anymore, I don't think, unless I just really have the time. Yesterday I like doing the live premieres because it's a fun interaction, but when like there was no one commenting, I was like, later, I gotta go. I don't need to watch my own videos. By the time I get done with the edit and get them posted, I've probably watched that video 4 or 5 times. I was just tired. By that time, I'm tired of. 8:53. Why does it feel like my comments are delayed? Hey, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, apparently they didn't work there for a little bit. Simon. Guys, like I said, for those of you that are not, yeah, there's 15 of us here and only 6 likes if you guys want. Those of you that are not top tier members, the premium tier members, if you want to get in on some of these giveaways, I have got several pricey items that I'm going to give away to the top tier members. This is the next giveaway. I made this knife. I forged this knife years ago. Finally got around to finishing the grind on it. I was very unhappy with it. This is definitely going to one of the premium tier members. I did the giveaway announcement a couple days ago, but towards the middle of the month, I'm going to pick a winner. I might wait till the end of the month because there are people that are interested in becoming members or maybe interested in becoming members that just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So I will hold off on that for a little bit. Coffee. So, well, if this is going to be another silent few minutes, like I'll give you guys a few minutes to ask some questions or anything. Oh, these are sold out now. There were some prototypes available on artisancutlery.net, I believe was where it was. And they had 3 of them and they sold out. I think they had like 3 of each color. Where am I at from? Where from Ohio? Where in Ohio am I from? I am from a small town called Fresno, Ohio, which just is outside of a larger town called West Lafayette, Ohio, which is still a very small town, which is just down the road from the county seat of Coshocton, which is still not a very big town. I actually did purchase a prototype because I only have this one and the green one. So I ordered another one, guys. I hope you don't feel bad. I caught it quick and I ordered one because I ordered it as a gift. It's a gift for a very, very close family friend who did a lot for my father. Did a ton for my father and mother when my dad was really sick. He's been like a brother to my father for years, and just to say thank you, it's not a neck knife. You take the chain off of it and you can wear it as a sheath knife. You just get rid of the chain. It was not intended to be a neck knife. Amazon, it's where you order everything. There is one of these that's going to a friend. They do not come with soft loops. In the Navy, I was on a carrier. I was not on a carrier. I was on a destroyer, a guided missile cruiser. I was on a bunch of amphibs, but I did weapons. So my job carried over from whatever ship. I was a machine gun instructor. You're hungry, so eat something.
I am.
You're old enough to make your own.
But you're talking and it's disturbing my eating session.
Yes, the chain is in the box.
Just kidding.
I was a GMSN. I was a seaman. Get out of my live feed. You have a YouTube channel. Do your own.
No.
You haven't done anything on your YouTube. The only thing that's ever been done on your YouTube channel was stuff that I did. You're like the Paulo Blazano of YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for.
The who?
The Who? No, The Who is a band. It's the Paulo Blazano. He's a guy that ripped off a bunch of people for some money.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you don't know who that is.
Why should I?
You shouldn't. But I'm having a conversation with them, not with you.
Excuse you.
Let's see. Yes, the chain is in the box if you ordered it. So let's see. Soft loops. Okay, Simon, I have an idea then. We'll work it out. I'll order it and then I'll send it to you, sans the chain. If you want, I can order soft loops for you. They're on Amazon and it can come like that. I offered the same deal to a guy in South Africa. As long as I'm not having to pay the international shipping, it's you that's paying that part, we'll work it out. I have no problem with that. I can't do that for everyone, but as a top premium tier member, I'm willing to give you that little bit of extra. That's one of the things. You guys are paying. Like you guys that are top, the premium tier members, you guys are paying. You guys get some concessions. That doesn't mean that like, okay, I want to say this right now. I have some people that just decide that like they just want to call me all the time or send me constant texts, and it's none of you guys, but I have had it in the past where I have YouTube subscribers that just want to call constantly, and then just not talk. And I can't do that. Occasionally I will take a call, but I just can't do that. It eats up. I already give up about an hour every morning to try and do YouTube stuff and videos for just shooting videos. And then I give up another couple hours for at least a couple hours for editing later. But I am willing to do some things. Like if you send me an email, say, hey, I really want to get a Mars knife or something that you can't get, and I can, it really does not add that much difficulty for me to have something delivered. And then when I do shipping on a day like today, when I go to the post office and take shipping in, I ship it out for you. As long as I'm not having to eat the cost of it, I can do some of those things. But okay, well, I'm just saying, like, it's a possibility. Or you could put a note. I'll see what Artisan has, like notes for delivery and things like that. Just tell them not to put a chain in it. See if they'll do that. I mean, Artisan has, when I ordered this, it was like notes for you know, notes for order, take the chain off, see if they'll do that. And I can ask Russell if that's a possibility that they'll do that. So we may have to, someone needs to tell Ramon Chavez to make more knives. Ramon, I have not heard anything from Ramon since last time I talked to Ramon was at the Gathering in Vegas this time last year. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ramon. Ramon's a quiet guy. I need to get a hold of him. So yeah, I mean, I know that he had some other stuff. The accessory stuff I'm not big into. I'm not into the knife adjacent hobbies like pens, beads, things like that. I will say that Frank has got some awesome beads. I'm going to try and shoot a video about the beads today. The beads that Frank sent me. So there's Cube Beads. It's a guy in Europe. He makes the hand. Well, let's just go get it, and then we'll just spend a little bit of time looking at that, and then we'll go. But Frank is starting a website where he's basically going to be the exclusive U.S. distributor of these beads. Now, not all the beads that the members are getting are going to be like that, but yeah, there's two. There's one right. There's two of them right here, and I'll grab the third. My wife is laying here reading Japanese comic books. Wave. Yuka, wave. No, don't cover your face. Wave your hand. I'm not filming your face. There you go. I don't have any makeup on. She doesn't need makeup. My wife has never really worn makeup. She's beautiful. She doesn't need makeup. This is my daughter. My daughter is going to be gorgeous. I can tell already. She's going to look like her mother. And that terrifies the shit out of me. I'm going to have to kill a bunch. I'm going to have to kill a bunch. Well, you don't have to kill them all. You just got to kill a couple and word gets around. But there's going to be little boys that come sniff around. I'm going to have to murder. I can tell already. Just going to have to kill one of them. So these are the beads that he sent me. So this is a Trinity knot. This is what I'm hoping we can get for the guys, the premium tier. But if not, there's going to be something equivalent. He got some Viking rune beads. Some of them are going to have glow. This has glow, some really cool glow paint on it. This one is by far my favorite of the ones he sent. Well, no, I can't say favorite because it's not on a knife anymore. I had this in my beard. I went full Viking. I had one on each side just to see. This is an octopus. The eyes on this glow. The center glows green and the outer part glows red. But then, so for this, for my Sith DOC, I have a Vader. Now, the guy apparently does, the guy that makes these at Cube Beads, does lost wax castings and does these, and this is a really, really, really cool bead. It's just, it doesn't glow or anything. It's just a nice bead. Actually, to tell you the truth, as far as a teenager, that when I was dating, I was extremely respectful. Always was. I grew up basically. So like, I know how I act. And it's not an act. It's just, that's just me, but that's my personality. But when it comes down to it, I grew up basically in the 1800s, guys. We still had cotillion. My father and grandfather would come out of their grave if I mistreated a female. So when I was, if I had a young man that acted like I did when I was younger, I would probably be kind of okay with it. And yeah, it's as long as he's not a little punk. I don't care. Race, color, creed. I don't give a fuck about that. As long as he's a decent person. I don't care about any of that other shit. Race, color, creed, religion. I don't fucking care. Because if he treats my daughter like shit, I'm going to squeeze his head until his fucking brains come out his nose. It's just that simple. I don't want to have to go to prison over a little shithead. So that's... But no, those beads, these beads are coming, and I'm definitely going to put a link when I talk about these beads. I'm going to try and shoot the video today. You guys, most of you guys won't see it until probably week after next, 2 weeks from now, or so. Because it go up to the premium member, or the paying members first for a while, and I like put up 2 videos. I shot 3 videos this week already, so not all of them are up. But at any rate, like I was saying, these beads, I'm definitely gonna put a link to Frank's website because he's like the exclusive U.S. vendor. We might be able to do a way where like paying members that get a code get a discount for certain orders, things like that. That's what Frank and I have been talking about. I definitely want, he seems like an all right guy. He's one of the paying members. He sent these, he's sending one for every one of the paying members. Every one of the paying members is getting a bead. Probably going to be a Viking rune bead, but like most of them are just going to be plain. But then the guys, the premium tier paying members that are paying the most, they get the ones that he's hand doing all the glow on them. So he was telling me yesterday, he's like, yeah, power's out. I can't paint in the dark. I was like, all right, bro, like whenever. I owe him a call today. So, yeah. All right, guys, I gave you 10 minutes. Does anybody got, I especially wonder if they, yeah, this guy, Cube Beads, I'm definitely gonna, I'll put it in the comments below or something. You know, I'll just do that now since we talked about, I'll put it in the description below after this posts up. It takes a little while. Sometimes it's 46 minutes. It's going to take all day for this to finally show up on YouTube for me to do the edit. So I will put it in. There will be I'll put in the website that Frank was telling me that is his because he's like the exclusive US vendor for these guys. He's the exclusive US distributor for the Cube beads. The other beads are different. Like these Lost West casting ones, like the Darth Vader. The guy apparently is doing a Boba Fett one, which I gotta get. I didn't. Oh, specialty beads. I gotta check on this ice maker again. It's making a funny noise. Okay. I've had to fix I have fixed the ice maker several times. And when I fix things, they usually require a little bit of attention after they've been fixed because they're fixed, which means that sometimes they malfunction again. Because my idea of fixing things is, well, that lip is too long. That's all it is. Then I take that assembly apart and the little lip that is supposed to be a specific way, but now it's been bent. I just fucking cut off. And I was like, yep, let's just cut that a little smaller. And then allows the ice to get pinched a different way. So the first thing was, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This is funny. So let's take this off. Okay, that comes off. It sits over there. So these little things right here are all supposed to be the same size. Well, this one got bent. Somehow this one got bent, and the little fingers that go down in and lift the ice up would catch on this because it was bent. Well, I couldn't bend it the rest of the way back out, so I just cut it smaller. Well, now that leaves enough of a gap. That leaves enough of a gap here and here that the ice will get stuck here when the arm comes up, and it gets stuck here, and then it's stuck. And then you can hear the ice maker making this ungodly tick, tick. I was like, I know what that is. I know what that sound is. But guess what? I didn't call a repairman, and it didn't cost me $400 for a new ice maker assembly. You know what I mean? That's how my dad used to fix shit. Like, I'll fix it. Give me that file. We gotta go to Home Depot. We didn't have Home Depot. We used to go to Ace Hardware. I cut that bolt too short. I had a drawer pull. I had a drawer pull here that since we moved into this house 12 years ago, 10 years ago, was loose. Well, it continued to get loose, and I couldn't tighten it down anymore because the screw was too long. And you could see where it would get loose, and then when you would push down or it would rattle, you'd cut into the copious amounts, lower layers of paint. So I took the screw out and tried to see if I had one that matched, and when I didn't, I put it in the vise. I just cut off a little bit extra, and I screwed it right back in. I was like, there. Stop complaining about it. It only took me 10 years to fix it. Look, I know you want that done. I will do it. You don't have to nag me. Like, you don't have to remind me every 6 months that you want something done. Isn't that how things work around the house? All right, guys. Well, you know what? May as well just make it. You guys want to stick around for another 10 minutes? 9 minutes and 30 seconds? I'll tell you what I've been doing with this. I'm trying to see how long this will continue to cut well and acceptably with only strop maintenance. So I cut down about half a 5-gallon bucket of cardboard this week and have only stropped this, and it is still, guys, no joke, it's still hair. I will get a hold of you, Luke. We'll talk about that custom. I can definitely do that for you. Cupboard doors are up. The big one with that was Nico just had to get the doors done. So all of my cupboard doors are done. So if you guys want to see, all of my cupboard doors now are done. A couple of them like this, I have to adjust the hinges on this one as well. When Nico and I did it, I think there's 2 holes. There's 2 sets of holes on these, and I think I used the wrong ones. And so it's just pinching the hinge, or I could just adjust that. I think these hinges are adjustable a little bit. But, I mean, this is an old house. I don't remember if this cupboard door actually closed all the way or not. But, I mean, you know, all of my cupboard doors are back up. We're not doing these ones. Those ones up there, we're not doing it. There's no need to. And then this door here for the pantry. When we bought the new refrigerator, we had to take the other door off because it wouldn't open because this refrigerator was bigger. So this door, I've got to take it down and paint it. It's just old. I mean, it's just old paint. This whole kitchen needs painted. I had thought about doing that this summer while the wife and kid were in Japan, but the fact is they didn't go. This house, like, people have said things like, oh, your house looks like shit, this and that. This is an old house, and I've lived here for 10 years, and nothing here has been painted. The only thing that this house needs is just a coat of paint on the interior spaces. It'd look brand new. This kitchen cabinets and kitchen counters need to be replaced and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm not making money anymore. I'm making... Thing is that, like, do these fucking counters not do anything I would expect them to do? No, they hold food. They hold the stuff. They're a place to put all of our kitchen appliances. Somebody was like, dude, your stove, man. Your stove, like, I've seen it in videos, all that burnt on, crusted on stuff. Well, that stove looked like that when we moved in, and we've added 10 more years of burnt on food. And I'm like, you know what? It still works. Like, if that stove doesn't work, I'll get a new stove. But when that stove is perfectly good, we can still cook. And the main reason it looks like that is we only have one. Yeah, but we also have talked about the fact that if I hadn't quit that job, I would not be here. You would not get, you can ask Chris and Elliot, Nico, Matt, guys that knew me when I was still working there. I was not happy. I'm a much happier person. I'm not that happy now. I mean, I'm still a grumpy old bastard, but the fact is, I'm not dangerously upset with life. And I don't mean like dangerous, like, oh, he might off himself. No. Mike was never that guy that would off himself. Mike was that guy that would just fucking lose his shit and wind up in a clock tower with his wife's underwear on his head, shooting with a scoped rifle, shooting people that looked like people he didn't like. That light is bothering me. Bright side is dulled a bit. I dulled up a bunch of knives. Well, hey man, I've got really 3 days a week that I can be in the shop. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, and Sunday. Sundays, I try not to, like, because I'm still working all week. My triceps are so sore. I pulled something in this one. I pulled something in my tricep on my right side doing overhead tricep extensions the other day. Oh, that's not good. So at any rate, yeah, I mean, I'm only working on knives, like making knives 3 days a week, if I even go up there. Right now, I don't have any belts. I've got to order some belts. before I can make any more knives. So like I've said before, that cost, you got the cost of knife, but then I have to look at how many belts I used, and that gets added in. So there can be a very, I mean, I used, by the time I get done with everything and finish and making handles and pins or shortening barrels and stuff for handles and all that, you know, you're looking at probably $100 worth of stuff that I've burned through. Thinking, you know, cutting handles, grinding out metal, cutting wheels. I spend about $100 in supplies every knife. So the cost of knife plus whatever the supplies are. And then when I had a sheath guy, I was like, I would add the cost of the sheath in, you know, I'd get a hold of him. I was like, hey, I'm sending these off. How much is it going to be? And then that would get added into the backside too. But right now I don't have a sheath guy. If any of you guys know, I've had a couple people send me info about guys that are doing kydex. I have not found anyone that is doing something that I really like. Okay, I'm going to tell you about belts. I've tried some of the more expensive, like the fire belts and things like that, and I don't see a difference. You maybe get a few, maybe 30 seconds more cutting time. The fact is, you have to, if you're making a knife, you have to treat the belts, just pretend they're free. Because if you're worrying about how much you're spending on belts and things like that, you're gonna try and extend past. So basically what we do is we just get the cheapest belts they have at True Grit. And they're a ceramic belt. They're cheap. They cut well. They don't cut. I mean, there's a couple of those belts out there that maybe last a couple minutes longer. But really, for what you're paying for them, that extra couple minutes isn't getting you anywhere. So we just stick with their budget belts that True Grit has, and they seem to work great. I've never had an issue. Like I said, I tried a batch of expensive belts, and I really didn't see a marked difference in those belts versus the cheap belts that we're using. But what I did notice was that I had spent way more to make that knife than I had using the cheap belts. So those are the ones. I just use the cheap ones that like True Grit does. They're a canvas 2x72 belt with a ceramic abrasive on it. I use an 80 as my coarse. And people will tell you, oh, you should go down into a coarser grit. Well, the fact is, with the pre-hardened steel that I'm using and a pre-heat treat grind, the bigger abrasive just strips off the belt easier, and so you wear that belt out faster. The coarser grit under 80 grit just does not really get you anywhere. It's kind of a waste. So I do an 80 and then a 120, which is usually where I finish knives, unless I want a specific finish. Like I did a 220 grit on this because I wanted a really fine or clearer, distinct stone wash on this knife. So you don't see any of the grind pattern. I personally like to see the grind on them, but I know I wanted this one special. Alex has done a lot for me. He's been really cool. Like I said, so I wanted this knife to be special, so I gave it a full flat grind. So it's the only one of these that is a full flat. There is no transition point. There is no shoulder up here. It comes all the way from the spine down. And then I did a 220 finish so that I could do this really, really clean, consistent stone wash where you don't see any of the grind lines. I even Scotch brighted this part back here. So all of this has been Scotch brighted. So you won't see any grind lines on it. I like to see the grind lines. I personally do. A lot of my knives just get a 120 and then a blast and a quick tumble, and you can still see the grind lines highlighted by the stone wash, but I don't usually do that. So this one's kind of a special, but like I said, I usually go to 220 or 120. This was a 220 finish. So here, I know it's hard to see with that front-facing camera. Just drop it, Mike. So you can see, like, stonewash. Now, I didn't Scotch Brite back here, so if you look, if you catch it in the light, you can see inside the handle, you're still going to see grind lines. But you really can't see any grind lines. That's mostly just fingerprints and watermarks on this. So, well, guys, I got to go. It's been an hour. This was my birthday present to myself, was harassing my annual Paulo Blazano bashing. Dude, I've dropped a finish knife on the pavement and not even had to. I will say though, the extra long tumble I did on this, it changed dimension back here. So I already warned the guys, like, there's gonna be a gap at the back of the handle, small one. Or I may cut the handle back at that specific point to give it like a glass breaker kind of thing. But what happened was it sat in the tumble long enough. I think it got pinched between a couple of the triangles, because that's a vibratory tumbler, not a tumble. That's a vibratory thing as opposed to the tumbler that I usually use. This is too big to put in those small rock tumblers. And so what happened was, I think this point got down in the bottom and got pinched between two of the ceramic triangles. And they just sat there and vibrated until they just rounded that off. So I haven't decided how I'm going to account for that. There may just be a little spot where I just take off more handle material and then just leave like a stop licking your feet, dumbass dog. It's a nervous thing. Her feet don't actually itch. So, but yeah, it may just that becomes like a little skull breaker or glass breaker on the back. So, all right, guys, that's it. I got to get out of here. Take it easy. Go follow Paulo. See what he's up to. See the stupid stuff that he's posting up. I can't, because he blocked me on Instagram. So I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later.